Hi, I'm Brianna Hamilton.
And I'm Calla Monroe, and we'd like to welcome you to the January edition of SCNN.
ECS is a place that pushes students to go above and beyond.
Sam Schroeder, Amelia Curry, and Taylor Roach show us how important the Biomed White Coat Ceremony truly is.
The ceremony focuses on all of our students 10th through 12th grade. It is to celebrate and honor the students that have not received a coat, which would be the sophomores, with their first ceremony and a white coat with their name embroidered on it. And the juniors and seniors then receive a patch that actually goes on their coats. They earn their white coat their sophomore year by completing their project and presentation for their fall semester. Some other counties do the same ceremony. Actually, we were one of the first ones in the nation. So for me, I'm very proud to kind of bestow that on them, in that they are taking responsibility for where they want to go with their career. This particular exact ceremony is done in other states as well, because they've actually asked me for my student oath and my ceremony outline and even those patches. The students that aren't involved in the ceremony, as far as that are part of the program right now, would be the freshman class. And we usually invite them to be a part of the ceremony in that they can act as hosts and hostesses. Words of wisdom, I guess, for students coming over to ECS into the 10th grade, biomedical sciences, and our village over here at ECS is we work hard and we like to have fun as well.
On February 17th, the high school will be performing a student-written and directed play called Human, which gives insight into mental illness and what it truly means to be human.
Abby Behrens and Brianna Hamilton interviewed key players in this production.
Human is a play I wrote in February of 2016, which is now being put on and is headed for a production in February of 2017. Human is being produced on February 17th. There's going to be an in-school performance during drama club, and then there will be an evening performance for the general public and anybody else who wants to come and see it.
Human is a play about a person living through their life, and it's justifying the existence of humanity, which is really deep and really complex, but it does it excellently. Yeah, it's really emotionally driven, and the first time I read it, I was just kind of furious, but it's also, it's got some sort of grace about it. I heard about it through the writer and director. She gave it to me and let me read it.
It started out as just this kind of fuddle-duddle idea in my head, and from there, I just started writing, and it just started happening. I know a lot of people like plan out everything that they write, and I can't do that. I'm a pantser, and just wrote it and got done with it in like a month, and I handed it out to a few friends who were curious about it, and they loved it, and it was really exciting. And so I was kind of intrigued by, what are other people going to think about it? And there weren't really any negative responses. And eventually it got to Miss Marshall, and she liked it, and she thought it was good enough to produce. And so this year we met up, and she agreed to produce it. And that's really insane and exciting and unbelievable. Actually, before this play, hadn't really had a lot of people read my work. This was kind of the thing that got me into showing people and letting people read things and having the confidence to get things out there. Casting was amazing. It was surreal to see something that had previously just been like a thought in my head being shown to me, for me, to get into it by so many different people who had so many different takes on all of the characters. It was amazing. And in some people, it was like, oh, well, that's done. There's the part. That's finished. And then some were ridiculously hard to cast. And it was incredible to see that such a vast array of talent there for something that I made. It's unbelievable.
The auditions, I was actually rather nervous. I came in reading for Father because I didn't really want a big part because I wasn't sure if I was going to do good enough at it. But I got really good feedback on my audition, and I made it as Novus and Thomas, who just so happens to be the lead. When I heard I was Thomas, I wasn't really sure what to think, honestly, because I saw other auditions that did so fantastic, and I just was hoping that I could do the same. Yeah, the cast is primarily made up of most of my friends. I moved here over the summer from Colorado, so plugging into theater was really where I got to meet everybody, so I'm just surrounded by all my friends here.
I want to inspire. I'm not sure if I have. I am kind of too close to it to know for myself if I have that ability. But that would be my biggest goal.
As most of you already know, Scott County Schools implemented a new program this year for schoolwork on snow days.
Lindsay Rice and Riley Barger talked to Dr. Hub on to what components went into making this decision.
There is any chance at all that it might be dangerous for student drivers or for parents or for school buses to get on the road, I won't hesitate to make the decision. The decision was made last year by then Superintendent Patricia Putty and the Board of Education to apply for non-traditional instructional days. Each district is limited to only 10 non-traditional instructional days, and that is in the legislation passed by the General Assembly. I think the public appreciates the communication that we've made so far. We've not used any non-traditional instructional days yet. We've only missed 2 days of snow. Prior to the winter weather coming, we decided as a school and district leadership team, as well as with the board, that our first 2 days were going to be missed snow days. So we believe that the next snow day that we have will be our first NTI day.
If these NTI days have got you down, Brandon Gray will surely get you motivated.
Brianna Hamilton and Arissa Hoppus interviewed Brandon to see what motivates him to write these speeches.
Well, it all really started out with one day somebody in my class, they were like, "Hey, you're pretty loud, you'd be a good speaker of some sort." And I just kind of like chuckled about it and, didn't really think anything of it. And then I realized that, at that point in life, I did like, public speaking, and I wanted to look into it more. So I did look into it more and realized that something along the lines of motivational speaking sounded very interesting and, good to me. I usually have a notebook. Well, it's really a pad, like a notepad that I've had for years since I started doing the first speech, and I continuously write in that. I brainstorm. I usually go talk to my history teacher, Mr. Burgoon, and bounce ideas off of him, and then I move along with the writing process and I start to type it out as a rough draft, and then I get somebody to look over it and kind of edit it, and then I go back again and edit myself, and then by then I have the final product. At first I was really nervous because I'd never been up in front of that many people before speaking, because a lot more people than I expected came, but once I really got into it, I became more comfortable, and I really got into what I was saying. I hope that they'll take away a positive message. Most of my speeches have been about and will be about, I plan to do more, they're mostly about getting from one point in your life to positivity. And I don't care if only one person gets that message. As long as I reach that one person, I feel like I've done something. I actually have part 4 planned, because before I've done 3 speeches, and it's going to be kind of like a series, I guess you could say, of the same message but in a different way. So yes, definitely a part 4 will be coming soon, hopefully towards the end of this school year.
The Actors Playhouse of Georgetown puts on their first play of the year, The Snow Queen, the play the hit movie Frozen was based off of.
Abby Nelson and Hunter Westenhofer give us a scoop on this new play.
Open the doors into Actors Playhouse of Georgetown, where Snow Queen's cast have been working hard to perfect their first play of the year.
Okay, so Snow Queen is, it's based on Hans Christian Andersen's story, The Snow Queen, and contrary to popular belief, it's quite different from the Disney movie Frozen. So how you see Elsa, the Snow Queen is actually evil, and she's out to take over the world, kind of, I guess you could say. And there's these two friends, Kai and Gerda. Kai grows up, and everything's good, everything's fine, but the Snow Queen has a mirror. And it's kind of like a mirror of deceit almost, and he gets a piece of this mirror in his eye. And so it causes him to see the world a lot differently, and his whole kind of disposition changes, and eventually it gets to the point where the Snow Queen actually, I guess you could say, captures him. And so Gerda sets out to find where he went to, or possibly rescue him, and kind of along the way she runs into these different obstacles, so it's really interesting.
My favorite part is the set and the costumes. It's a very creative, interesting show. We have a lot of big headdresses and a lot of special effects. We actually ordered brand new LED lighting to make everything pop, and we have snowfall, and it's pretty to look at. What inspired me to do the Snow Queen was I feel like everyone had a very rough 2016, and the root of the Snow Queen is actually a story about depression and about anger and about being fed up with the world. And it's also about how your friends are what save you from that. And I felt like that would be a story that everyone could relate to and see themselves in. People should come and see the Snow Queen because there's something for everyone in it. Everyone can watch it, and there will be a part where you think, wow, that is my life, that is my story. And we've already had, some of the actors have even cried watching their friends rehearse because they related so directly to it. So people should just come and feel, and it's almost like a little theatrical therapy. We have a lot of types of people in this building, and everyone is safe and welcome no matter what their opinion is or their view is or their background is. We have created a family here, and everyone is welcome in that family.
If you are interested in seeing the Snow Queen, come to APG on 209 West Jefferson Street. The show times are February 24th and 25th at 7 p.m. and the 26th at 3 p.m.
Last month, the hit movie Hidden Figures graced the big screens.
Sawyer Crawley and Justine Davis give us a summary of this jaw-dropping movie.
Hidden Figures, a movie released December 25th of 2016, illustrates the significance of equal rights. Featuring Taraji P. Harrison, Octavia Spencer, and Janelle Monáe, this movie shows the experiences that African American women in NASA must face in the 1960s.
You were a white male. Would you wish to be an engineer?
I wouldn't have to. I'd already be one.
As the space program participates in the race for space.
There's the gal for that. She can handle any numbers you put in front of her.
Katherine Goebel has always had the genius mind of a mathematician. Because of her race, she was never able to show her true potential until she was moved up to a task group responsible for most of the calculations of Friendship 7, the spacecraft designed to get the first U.S. man to space. Surrounded by white men, Katherine overcomes the discrimination she faces and uses her brilliant mind to make the Friendship 7's journey a success. The movie also follows Mary Jackson and Dorothy Vaughan, who fight discrimination to show off their talents and make NASA more successful. The cinematography of the film was brilliant. The variation of shots used captured the story excellently and emphasized the struggles African American women faced in the 60s. Hidden Figures layered the heavy topics of racism and sexism with a level of comedy.
How could you be ugly in these white men? It's equal rights. I have the right to see fine in every color.
Making this film a memorable one. Overall, Hidden Figures was an empowering story and showed that no matter the color of one's skin or one's gender, a brilliant mind can make brilliant differences.
Within these walls, who makes the rules?
You, sir, you are the boss. You just have to act like one, sir.
And on this edition of SCNN, we have a guest star all the way from Russia.
Hello, imbecile American children. I'm Russian hacker Vladimir Maxim Petro Nikolai Leopold Bushmakov. But call me Vlad. If you're Putin, Anyone else, I sick wolves on you. Which is worse fate than running out the toilet paper ration. Seriously, I stand in line for 22 hours just to get toilet paper ration, just to find out they gave last one to woman in front of me. You know what they have to use with no toilet paper? DNC emails. Do you know what it's like to wipe your bum with, Hillary, I love your pantsuit, and oh, pantsuit, Hillary, pantsuit. So 1980s. But now down to business. Russia is not hacker. Government have no affiliation with Fancy Bear. Sure, they may be in our country and have secret, top secret dinners with government officials, but so what? No one calls you out on that smoky guy, and he wears a silly little Pharrell hat. And why don't you all just forget about this anyway? Aren't you supposed to do whatever your leader says on pain of death? Oh wait, that's just us. But anyway, if you look at it, we, or whatever Russian group did this, was actually just returning a favor. You see, you give us harsh sanctions, we hack DNC, you make fun of Putin on horseback, we give you 4 years of comedic relief. Now we're even, right? Which brings me to something else very important. Saturday Night Live. This mockery Siberia destined show is so outrageous they don't even bother with facts. Putin looks much better than that with his shirt off. But anyway, we're digressing off topic. Why would Russia even need to hack US? This is country that have dinner with Exxon billionaire and give him friendship award and go to galas with American millionaires. If we really wanted something done, all we'd have to do is call in a few favors and you wouldn't even know. Heck, you can't even prove we hacked you, so how would you even know? Speaking figuratively, of course. But in conclusion, Russia would like to say that if we had done something as you said we did, not that we would unless it was a very, very good dream, some, not Russia though, would say that it could serve as a demonstration of our power and what might happen if to people who undermine our wishes and publish false news stories. And so we would like to say to those people that they should probably be careful because winter is coming and it's always the news broadcasters that go first. Oh, and hello to Sarah Palin. She's my neighbor. We always wave to each other from our houses. Have a nice day.
Thanks, Vlad. This concludes the January edition of SCNN. I'm Callum Monroe.
And I'm Brianna Hamilton.
Signing you off.
Boxer.
Sup, dude, what's bro?
Sup, dude, what's bro?
High five!
That was totally wrong, but whoa!
Yes! This is our last story, and then it just says end. Maybe we can just say end and run. You tell us what it's about, of the first attempted spaceman.
A first attempted spaceman. That's totally good. Last month,
You did it now.
I want to see women fight racism in zero gravity.
Enjoy.
Computer, please. Not like we need it. Okay, come on, let's 3, 2, go!
How ridiculous do I look on a scale of 1 to 10?
706.
And a special thanks to our sponsors.
When you're out recruiting, a phone call doesn't always cut it.
You have to be there, face to face.
It's the same with banking. That's why I chose Central Bank.
At Central Bank, it's easy to stay connected with online and mobile banking. But when you need someone to talk to or a quick decision made, we're right here with the products and personal service to help guide you toward your financial goals.
Think local.
Grow local.
Bank local and put Central Bank's local advantage to work for you.
In today's generation, we don't realize the amount of hours we have with our heads down, looking, scrolling on a screen that controls us, that defines us, that makes us. Whether we have enough likes on a picture or have enough followers, no retweet or repost can bring back the time you lost going through your phone. Should you really spend most of your time scrolling through someone else's life rather than focusing on your own? Should you really text someone 24/7 when you haven't even said hello to your parents? We should focus on the things we love instead of shove others out so that they don't have to shout over the music that's blaring in our ear so that we can hear the world going on around us. Instead of having our parents fuss that we spend too much time on our phone. But Mom, I promise I'm only on it when I'm alone. But are you? Pick your head up from the screen that's controlling your life. Yes, I know music helps with your strife, but think of the things you could be doing. Going for a run, moving your legs rather than your thumbs. Look up. Look around you. Today is your cue to live your life outside of your phone and disconnect so you're not alone. Do you see the world you've been missing? Think of all the people you've been dissing. Because the amount of time you have looking at a screen that does no justice for the real life scene. Don't you see? We are consumed with the constant communication without the physical relation with someone who's standing right in front of our face. Do you really want to give up that bond? You have the strength to put down your phone. So realize that now, before the perfect opportunity goes by when you wish you could have at least said hi.